Hello there, and welcome to the Church of St Andrew at Heckington in Lincolnshire. Boy, are we in for a treat here. Probably one, if not the finest church in the county. The exterior of Heckington ranks with Brant Broughton among Lincolnshire's galleries of vernacular art. It stands in the centre of the village, a testament to the imagination of the early 14th century, to the years of ingenuity and plenty before the Black Death. The principal benefactor was its rector, Richard de Pottsgrave, chaplain to Edward III, and thus a man of means. But the true heroes of Heckington are the carvers themselves, men of humour, intelligence and artistic licence. These gargoyle heads, which just abound, are absolutely fabulous. This tall clerestory of 3 light windows has wonderful tracery. Of the tower, a harsh critic might say that it's too solid. It's got heavy buttresses which hold it to the ground and broached pinnacles, each a delightfully ornamented octagon. They're too heavy for the spire really. That said, the structure sustains a wealth of carvings, including 38 statues. The south elevation of the church itself is alive with figures, the porch likewise inside and out. Monsters leap from the foliage, angels jostle peasants. We have no knowledge who these carvers were, but they speak to us from every gargoyle and corbel head. A frame in the chancel shows a collection of the mason's marks. A series of figures seem to be skiing downhill under the gargoyles. Many of the faces appear true to life. This must be a satirical magazine as well as an art gallery. Now this is odd, it's been described as a well-dressed female, a posh woman being carried away by a demon-headed dog. The windows are equally superb and best appreciated from outside. In each, the upward lines seem to follow a different path. The climax is the chancel east window. Its tracery is curvilinear, describing tulips and pincers according to imaginative fancy. The church is built of Ancaster stone and is 164 feet long. The spire reaches a height of about 185 feet. There are transepts as well as aisles. The buttresses have niches under gables at ground levels. The gables stand on figure stops. The bell openings of 2 lights brooch spire with big polygonal pinnacles not standing on the brooches but merging oddly into them. Here at the feet of Christ, the royal lions or leopards of England, a reference perhaps by Pottsgrave to his patron Edward II, the last Plantagenet to adopt this insignia. The south porch has buttresses with niches, which we have also on the tower. This doorway inside the porch is early English. The interior of Heckington is at first a disappointment. The scraped walls are black, streaked and crying out for plaster. Here is one Lincolnshire church which the Victorians did not handle well. The nave is redeemed by the decorated font, as richly foliated as the porch, but sadly stripped of statues. The arcades are of 4 bays. The piers are square. The church would have suffered defacement during the Reformation and the Civil War period. The empty niches echo those found on the exterior of the church. In the south transept, the sedilia has round shafts, knobbly capitals and arches with open cusps. The beautiful corbels for the rude screen survive. This great chancel arch is almost 40 feet high. The current very fine glass in the chancel are memorials to local personalities between the years 1880 and 1920 and describe the events of the Passion, Death, Resurrection and Ascension of the Lord. There is actually a large framed guide describing the detail of this east window. Some relief is in the chancel. It contains the tomb of Richard de Pottsgrave, with the county's finest groupings of Easter Sepulchre, Sedilia and Piscina. The Sepulchre is a masterpiece. The composition is vertical, with the figures recessed behind architectural features. The soldiers sleeping outside the tomb are almost hidden inside their canopies. The superstructure is a mass of foliage, as if the masons wanted to hide the shrine in a forest. This Easter Sepulchre is a show front around a simple triangle-headed recess no larger than 2 feet high. Here on the south side of the sanctuary, continuing the exuberance in the mason's sculpturing, is an elaborate double piscina, a place where the priests washed the sacred vessels at Mass following communion. The same hands were clearly at work on the Sedilia opposite. Here the imaginary varies from pretty statues of saints to scenes from village life. Here is a woman feeding a bird. Here some domestic quarrelling. She's holding his beard and he's holding her tongue. Here a man is eating some fruit. And curiously, a woman with a squirrel. Here to the right is a very large 3-seater sedilia, which was needed when there were priests conducting the Mass. There are intricate carvings on the font, and it obviously has had restoration. Thank you most kindly for watching this film of St Andrew's Church in Heckington, Lincolnshire.